The bread of life today will come from two places, both in the book of Psalms. Psalm chapter 33, verses 10 through 22, and chapter 53, verses 1 through 6. We will first read from Psalm chapter 33, verses 10 through 22. The Lord nullifies the counsel of nations. He frustrates the plans of the peoples. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart from generation to generation. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of men. From his dwelling place he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions the hearts of them all, he who understands all their works. The king is not saved by a mighty army. A warrior is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a false hope for victory, nor does it deliver anyone by its great strength. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope for his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your loving kindness, O Lord, be upon us, according as we have hoped in you. Next, we'll read from Psalm chapter 53, verses 1 through 6. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt and have committed abominable justice. There is no one who does good. God has looked down from heaven upon the sons of men to see if there is anyone who understands, who seeks after God. Every one of them has turned aside. Together they have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Have the workers of wickedness no knowledge, who eat up my people as though they ate bread and have not called upon God? There they were in great fear where no fear had been, for God scattered the bones of him who encamped against you. You put them to shame because God has rejected them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When God restores his captive people, let Jacob rejoice, let Israel be glad. And this is the word of God.
Today we're going to go over the root and cause of the tragic Korean War of June 25th. And it's just going to be a summary. You know, we can't go into every single detail, but it's going to be a summary of how this war began and the root and cause of it. North Korea made their attack at 4 a.m. with the code word storm. And they illegally attacked the South without any declaration of war. And as you saw in the video, they captured Seoul in 3 days. Seoul obviously is the capital city in 3 days. And they even came all the way up to the Nakdong River. So probably about 80% of the South was occupied. If you put the 38th parallel line there. About 80% of the South Korean land was occupied by the North Korean communists. And so if it was not for God's miraculous help and the help of the UN nations, Korea would have been totally taken over by the communist regime. If we look at when the Korean Armistice Agreement came, that was in July 27th, 1953. So here this period was 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. Right now we are still in a ceasefire. It's not ended yet. So we're still in that kind of tension and that dilemma. And of course, you know, you've heard of the things that are happening in the political world. And so we're going to look at the root and cause. How did this war come about?